everyone. Welcome back. It's been a casual 3 months because I was in a little summer depression and did not post any of these episodes. This episode was recorded and ready to go back then, but I could not bring myself to edit. So here it is now. We're going to go in a very Teen Wolf-esque Season 1B situation. This is the Season 1B premiere. You're hearing it here first, and we will have episodes every week if I can do it. It's my goal to give you new episodes every week through mid-November, and then we will have our season finale, and then we will come back at the beginning of next year. I will take December off for holidays, so probably around Thanksgiving is when our last episode will be, and then we'll come back for the new year. It's been a very exciting first year so far. I never thought that 1,000 people would be listening to my podcast, which is very exciting. I am just a person who works full-time, so it is hard to keep up with it if my schedule changes like it did in the summer. So we're living, we're growing, we're learning, and here's the episode for you. Hello, everybody. This is Ashley from TikTok's 130 Books in 130 Days, and you're listening to the If It Was a Book podcast, the show that takes real-life stories and rewrites them into what would happen if it was a book, for people who love reading, writing, pop culture, and general ADHD chaos. Today, I'm joined by Janessa of the Read the Book First podcast. Janessa, is there anything you would like to say for why you're the perfect person to rewrite a random story into a book?
I would say I'm the perfect person for this because I love adaptations. I love when they're messy. I love when they're off the cuff. I love when they're perfect. I love adaptations. So I love rewriting everything.
Okay, great. Tell us a little bit about your podcast. What can we expect from Read the Book First? And how long has it been going? I listened to a couple of episodes.
And this July will be our 2-year anniversary, though I've been chunking out episodes and seasons because that's what podcasts do apparently. But Read the Book First, me and then a guest, often folks in my real life, but more and more my bookish internet friends have been joining. And we read a book and discuss it like a book club. And then the next week we watch an adaptation or more and just kind of dive into why they made the adaptation, what makes it good, what makes it bad, what we would change, all of the messy of adaptations. And it's a fun time.
And on Janessa's podcast, you can listen to me talk about 5 Feet Apart, which is just such a YA. I have to remind myself that they are teenagers and this is how teenagers think, but I was just like, why are you making these stupid decisions?
Constantly, yes. Yes, I 100% agree.
Okay, great. And then, Janessa, you have a story that you'd like to tell us.
Yeah, so I grew up on a small island in Alaska, so I have lots of wild wilderness stories, but one of my favorite stories, I was a witness to the story. I did not experience that. My friends and I, my family friends and I was 12. My family and their family were out on a boat going to a nearby island to do a day camping adventure. My friend, who was also 12, he and I were both on the swim team together, so we often would just while they docked the boat in the deeper parts of the water, we just swim to shore because we love swimming. It's the Pacific Ocean, so it's cold, wetsuits, and all the safety things that keep you alive. He dove in the water first and was halfway between the island and the boat, and I was about to come in, but then we saw some orcas coming near us. And orcas, or killer whales, they don't eat humans, but they are ferocious. They do, in fact, though, eat seals. And when you're wearing a wetsuit and have fins, you look like a seal. Luckily, I was still on the boat. My friend, don't worry, he's alive and well today. Luckily for him, the orca came up to him at the last minute, realized that is not a seal, that is a human, bumped him, and then went away. And it's one of the 3 times orcas in the wild have interacted with humans in such a way. It was just wild stuff like that all the time in Alaska.
The ocean scares me so much.
As it should. We should all respect the ocean. I love swimming, but I understand people's fear. I'm yes, that is understandable.
I miss being a child when I was just yeah, I'm jumping in the ocean. This is great. Because I was just on my honeymoon. I got married in March, and then we went to our honeymoon. Thanks. And I was booking experiences because I was we gotta do fun stuff. And so one of the things we did was snorkeling. And on the boat, as we're going out to where the snorkeling happens, I was I already regret this. I actually don't want to get in the water. What if there are sharks? There were no sharks. This is a very populated touristy area. There was nothing, but I was just a shark's gonna get me. And I know that there are scarier things in the ocean, but I've just seen a lot of shark movies.
Yeah. You see Jaws once and you're forever changed, you know?
Right. The mechanical shark is gonna get me. So
Absolutely.
there
Yeah.
were some cool fish though. I looked at tiny fish and I stayed
Cute.
really close to the reef, but not so close that I would hurt the reef. But just to be
Mhm.
like, don't come over here. Look, there's no
Mhm.
open water for you to come into.
Yeah, for
I am
sure.
but a fish. Okay, so where would you like to go in this story? Do you want it to be like a scary survival ocean book? Do you want it to be like what are we doing?
I think we could do a survival scary book. I'm not as familiar with that genre in general.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my go-to. I think because of my living in Alaska, I'm like I've had a lot of similar situations to this. I don't need to live that. But I also think it'd be cool to like magical realism
Okay.
esque option to it. Like if we had like a character who encountered with an orca, which is terrifying and literally nightmare fuel. I mean, they're beautiful and we got to protect them, but also they sink
Big.
yachts, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, but we have some sort of like, I don't know, some sort of weird magic that's like, doesn't, not really explainable, but like in the fun way.
Yeah, no, I like that. I was listening to your episodes on The Last Robot. I keep thinking of
Yeah.
The Last Unicorn on The Lost Robot, and y'all were talking about how Roz has to learn how to communicate with the animals because, of course, she's
Hmm.
programmed to communicate with people. And I was like immediately in children's writing brain being like, talking to animals is cool.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I think that we should talk to the orca. I think that that would be fun. Like in a
Yes.
very, oh gosh, what's that Tamora Pierce book series
Uh,
where she can talk first something, first test, first something?
I can see the cover. I just cannot see the words on the
Mm,
cover, but I know what you're talking about. Yes.
right. So
Yeah.
like in a very like middle grade kind of way,
Hmm.
unless you would like it to be adult, which is also okay.
I love middle grade. I also am a middle school English teacher, so like middle grade's wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got some middle grade magical realism. Our main character, of course, is going to be able to talk to animals, and I think that
Hmm.
that's a lot of fun. Are we going to say the orca is the first animal that they have talked to, or are there
I
other animals
think
they've talked to?
I think that maybe in the past they've had like when you're a little kid and you think you know what your dog is saying, well really they're just
Hmm.
saying take me outside, right? But you're like, We're having a conversation, right?" So I think they've had the character has had experiences like that and has just like their parents are just like whatever, you have a
Hmm.
crazy imagination, but then this is the first one where they're more middle school age when they're like, oh wait, this is actually a thing you know
What
yeah.
about, so I like that. I'm thinking about like why we didn't know we could talk to animals beforehand. And I'm going to say that like it's something in their brain, but it doesn't activate just like normally. And
Hmm.
so I want to say that like in a near death experience, that's when it like
Ooh.
starts happening. So we've had one near death experience when we were a child, but like didn't recognize that we could really talk to the animal.
Hmm.
Talked. And then we like ignore that and be like, that wasn't real. That was just a like scary
Yeah.
time. And then we have this other one where they're older and they're like, oh, wait, no, wait, I actually talked to that animal.
Yeah.
Perhaps in a very Twilight New Moon way. They're going to
Hmm.
start putting themselves in these scary situations just to like unlock that part of their brain. And once they like
Yeah.
realize how to do it, they don't have to be in scary situations anymore to
Hmm.
do it.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
I like that. And like, if we're thinking about where in the world this would be set, where orcas are is mostly on the west coast of the US. I mean, other places obviously, but like that's the prominent. And like other animals that are dangerous that you can encounter, bears. Bears are always messing around. I mean, if you're little, like, I mean, there's different kinds of crazy birds out there that could interact with. Like, I once had a eagle eat my kitten when I was little. Yeah. Rest in peace, Zoe the cat, who I named after a
Oh my
kid on
God.
Zoom, the TV show. Yeah, that was a sad moment, but a very Alaska moment. But like eagles eat cats and small dogs all the time. So I feel like if you were a small kid, you could have a almost interaction with an eagle,
Hmm. Hmm.
as like an early lead up to this discovery. Are we going to have them be the only person who can interact with animals this way? Or is there like a subsect of folks?
Ooh, great question. I don't know. What would you like to do?
I mean, I think in middle grade, so often these kind of stories are like, analogies or metaphors for like accepting yourself or finding
Hmm.
yourself. And I think either way, there's strong plot beats that you can have, like finding someone else, maybe not with the same exact animal power, right? Or not that they all suddenly talk to animals, because I feel like if every talk to animals in this group, that's like they could have a lot more power in the world, and that's not fun for middle grade, you know? That's fun for
Mhm.
like an adult sci-fi, but
Oh,
you know what I
okay.
mean?
So then if we're like trying to find our place and everything, we can have this child be adopted. And so then they like don't feel like maybe they've recently learned that they're adopted. Like they don't feel
Yeah.
as connected to their family.
Mm-hmm.
So then they'll find their other family that can talk to animals, but like not. So I don't want to say that they're other parents. I'm gonna say their parents are dead. Sorry,
That's
but
what happens in
I
middle grade books.
I I don't want to disregard the adoptive parents and
Yes.
that they are this person's parents, even if you find the bio parents. So I'm gonna say bio
Mm-hmm.
parents are no
Mm-hmm.
longer. Perhaps they find a cousin or something
Yeah,
that
that'd be cool.
and they thought that this child had passed away because maybe they were really, really
Mm-hmm.
young and it was like a car accident or something. And so
Yeah, yeah.
the baby was taken to the hospital and never claimed kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Estranged family, whatever. So can we tell a little bit more about our main character? Who are they?
Okay.
What's their name?
Okay. I think, what's the name of a kid who would like talk to animals on a playground? I don't know. I want to go something like hippie-esque,
All I
a
can think of
color.
is that'd be good. All I could think of was Millie Bobby Brown because she just left LA to like full time live on a
Mm-hmm.
farm.
Yep. She's always talking about her animals. She's like, yeah, I have a pig who sleeps in my bed with me. And I'm like, girl, live your best life. But
Yeah,
also, no thanks.
yeah, couldn't be me, but good for you. Best.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think something like a color or like a, and maybe this is because I read the new Hunger Games book and I'm like thinking of color or plant names.
They could be blue. I've got Ramona Blue right here. I feel like I've
Ooh,
seen
blue's
children
pretty.
named Blue. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's gender neutral. So who do
Yeah.
we want? Tell me more about our main character. Who are they?
I think I think because of their uh you know frequent interactions with animals in a way that's not just kids having imagination and more something else, right? I think they're very isolated as far as like
Okay.
in school, kind of like a loner, not because they want to be, but because their community has decided that they are,
Mm,
right? So like I
mm-hmm.
think she maybe, I don't know, we can
Sure.
gender
Blue
whatever,
could be
but
a
she
girl.
like I think she wants a friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like feeling or finding herself and feeling accepted like everyone does, but I think she also like is looking for friendship specifically. And
Yeah.
yeah. And I think she can find that when she's talking to these animals, but I don't want the animals to only be her friend. Like I think she needs to find a human, to be her
Okay.
friend.
I might be going a little too young. Maybe it's not middle grade anymore, but I think that especially if we're going to do like the orca or some other very large, scary animal that she encounters, I'm going to say that this animal is injured. And
Mhm.
so she's going to have to, because we need like an overarching plot. So our overarching
Yes.
plot is going to be that we have to save this animal,
Mhm.
but we can't reveal our powers, of course.
Mhm.
So I've now decided that this is a series, and in each book, she's gonna save a different animal,
Yes.
and
I would have loved this
she's
series as a kid.
she's
I would
gonna
have
make
eaten it up.
friends with the kid of a like wildlife veterinarian.
Oh yes, that's good.
So this child who they become friends with is going to be like a little bit knowledgeable about animals,
Mhm.
but also when it gets to be too big for this like 9-year-old to
Mhm.
handle,
Mhm.
there is a parent who knows about these
Yeah.
animals and can assist.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're necessarily an orca vet, but they're like a Dr. Pol kind of wildlife
Mhm.
veterinarian that can deal with exotic animals that are not just cat,
Mhm.
dog, turtle.
Yeah.
I don't know if turtle's considered a normal one. I just know a lot of people have turtles.
I know tons of people have turtles. Yeah. I consider that
Yeah.
normal.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, oh my god, actually I'm writing Free Willy. Now I've realized that I'm writing Free Willy.
No, are we writing Free Willy?
Except they can talk to the
Well, yeah, and we could make it like, is Free Willy okay, I've watched that for sure.
dude, that used to be
Is
my favorite movie.
I had a Free Willy toy from McDonald's that was the orca, and I was obsessed. Was Free Willy a captured orca or was he wild? I don't remember that part.
Free Willy was a captured orca who they then make wild because he is
Gotcha.
unhappy and his fin is going over, and it's like very clear that he is not being treated the way he needs to be treated.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So they
Yeah.
like rescue him and transport him by crane to the ocean.
Okay. Well, we can do this where it's like instead of it being captured whale, it can be like injured but like near the like shore.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's a coastal setting of some sort. And then like the orca could be like the first book where like they like realize this is actually a power they have. They meet the friend and they can like help the orca. And the orca can be like a visiting character throughout other books because orcas they come to like they do the same kind of pattern and they're like in pods and very matriarchal. So like maybe it's the matriarch of this pod. So like they remember, right? And come by because then and like maybe to like get other places now I'm also thinking in the series kind of mindset like if this if her friend's like parent as a wildlife biologist veterinarian
Sure.
maybe they go on a summer trip and she goes with them as like his friend and they encounter animals in different areas so like
Okay,
we can
yeah.
leave like the coastal setting and go and do like other weird animals and like yeah, and that's like serialized kids book
I like it.
or
I
chapter
like
book
it.
series.
I wonder if a whole whale is a little bit too big for our
Mhm.
first one, especially
Yeah.
when she doesn't know her powers yet. So, not to.
A
I actually
seal?
think that I was gonna say a leopard seal, which is even scarier in my opinion,
Yes.
because they're scary.
That scene in
But
Happy Feet? Terrifying.
yeah, yeah, okay. And I feel like they're also small enough that, like, in theory, someone can transport them, which I think
Mhm.
is going to be, like, the ultimate thing of,
Mhm.
because they're gonna have to, like, treat this animal. And
Yeah.
I don't know that in our first book, we have the resources and network
Yeah.
to treat a whale.
To a whole whale. That's I think that's very fair.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we've got a really scary leopard seal,
Mm.
and I'm gonna say that it, like, lashes out because it's injured.
Yes.
So she and maybe her friends or her family, someone, because she doesn't have friends yet. So she
Yeah.
is like swimming by herself. So sad.
Mhm.
And her parents are like on the beach. So I'm going to say that she's not alone because she's 9.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, I understand that she's
Yes.
a wilderness child, but she is 9.
But
So
she is
she's not by
still
herself.
observed. Yeah.
Right. So maybe she's like wandering off a little bit. Maybe she's going to like under the pier, and that's where the leopard seal is. And the leopard
Mhm.
seal is injured and like scared and lashing out. And so
Yeah.
it's like going at her. Like, "Ah."
Mhm.
She's like, "Ah." And then she can like hear him and he's like, go away or whatever. And she's like, oh no. And then he like looks at her and he's like, why do you speak leopard seal? What's that all
Yes.
about?
Yeah.
And then she can like notice the injury and be like, what happened? And kind of also be freaked out that she's talking to a seal. Is this going to be like where the seal talks and she can understand it? Or is it like telepathic communication?
I think I mean, if it is like if our character is like 9 or 10 and then that's the age group, then I think talking out loud
Okay.
makes more sense, you know? But then it's like, okay, then are people gonna look at her and see the seal like barking at this child? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And they're gonna be like, let's go save a child, you know what I mean?
And she's barking
So
back because she
yes.
speaks seal.
Yeah. It's not like it's translate like she's translating. Yeah, it's fully seal. Now I'm like, what does a starfish sound like? Like,
Yeah, and I'm wondering if it's
yeah.
telepathic, if we can introduce more animals that like can't speak.
That's yeah, so I think telepathic I think makes sense for like the logic of this,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. 'Cause now I'm
Well,
like
and I
picturing
also
like
say I also think that if it's telepathic in later books, once she has like got control over her
mhm.
communication, then she can like hear them from afar and hear animals being like, help.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then she can
'Cause
seek them out rather than coming upon them.
yeah, I think that's smart, and then also I feel like if it's telepathic, you have more option to like turn off that like radio frequency
Mm-hmm.
essentially. Because if you're just like walking like, on a low tide of the beach, if you're just walking, you're gonna hear every single barnacle. Like that's a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a lot. You're like step on a barnacle and then suddenly you're dealing with am I a murderer? And that's a different kind of story.
Are barnacles sentient?
I mean, I mean, they're part of the animal kingdom. I don't
Right,
know.
but like at the lowest level, it's like,
Yeah. Like, like for example, jellyfish don't, they don't really have like a brain. They just have like nerves. So it's like, I don't know.
yeah, but in
That
that case,
crush
they can still feel pain. Oh no.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of moral dilemmas in this one. Oh, but
Yes.
then that would also be like she hears all of the jellyfish washing upon shore and being like,
Uh-huh.
help. She can't
Yeah.
necessarily help all of them. I'm going to say if they don't have a brain, they cannot telepathically communicate because they don't have a telepath.
Yes, I think that is the safest choice for our poor Blue. We don't want her to be that Blue.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
that's a lot of ethical issues on her at a young age.
Yes. And I also think that, like, if it's telepathic, then we can have, like, as she becomes well known by the
Mhm.
animals in the area, they can call to her and be like, Blue, Blue, someone needs help or
Mhm.
whatever. So
Yeah.
I vibe with that.
Mhm.
Okay. So leopard seal is injured. How are we saving the leopard seal here in book 1?
I think it's a caught in a net situation because that is something a kid could fix, you know what I mean? Like, it's not necessarily like
Mm-hmm.
their limb is like needs stitches. It's more like I'm stuck in trash. Yeah.
I like that.
'Cause
And then I
yeah.
think that it also has the overarching story of, like, keep the ocean clean,
Yes.
guys.
Yeah.
So
The
lots of morals.
educational PSA part. Yeah.
Right. Lots of morals for the children. The environment is important. Save the
Mhm.
animals.
Yes.
Okay. So, yes, I like that. But, okay, well, I guess that's just the first one. So, first
Yeah.
one, we get them out of the netting and we keep them
Mhm.
calm because we're able to speak to them at that point. And
Yeah.
then when that one leaves, I'm going to say that like fight or flight shuts down in her brain. So she's not
Mhm.
able to talk to anyone else at this point.
Mhm.
So we need another animal in the same book so that we can take it to the veterinary kid and have that friendship. We have to form
Okay.
that relationship.
I think it should be something that is like a mammal on land and that she could potentially either pick up or put in a wagon, right?
Ooh,
Because
I love a
9-year-olds have
wagon.
access to a wagon, right? I'm thinking like something that you maybe wouldn't want to be near, but because she can talk to it, it wouldn't spray her, like a skunk. Like that's small enough, you know, or something like that, like or like a porcupine or
What about a snake? Because I think it's
ooh,
scary enough that it'll trigger that fight or flight.
yeah.
Because we have to get into we have to
Hmm.
use that muscle before we can use the muscle,
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I think a snake would be good. And I'm going to say Veterinary Kid has a pet snake. And Blue
Mm.
has heard Veterinary Kid talking about it at school. And
Yes.
so when injured snake is there, and I'm going to say it's a big one. It's like
Hmm.
someone's pet big snake that has escaped and
Hmm.
injured itself. I'm going to say it's like cut somewhere,
Yeah, it was attacked by
injured.
something.
Yeah. And it was lashing out because it was scared. And so that has her go, "Ah," and then it like turns
Hmm.
on and the snake is like, ow, 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 ow. And she's like, what happened? And then the snake like explains what's going on. And then she's like, okay, I can help. Don't bite me. I'm going to lift you and put you in this
Hmm.
wagon. And we're going to go to school. I'm going to say she's okay. Yes, wagon. Not in this
Yes.
episode. I always go back to TV. Not in this book.
Hmm.
We're going to put the snake in the backpack
Okay.
and we're going to take it to school to give to
Uh-huh.
Veterinary Kid. So it's not quite as large a stake as I was originally thinking about.
Yeah.
And we're going to take it to school and be like, hello, Veterinary Kid. Can Veterinary Kid have a name? I think we already said he's a boy.
Yeah, I think Veterinary Kid's a boy, and I think he needs like an old man name, like a generic old man name, like not Frank, but something like that, like the vibe.
Kevin or
Tony?
Eugene? Tony?
Eugene. I like a
Okay,
Eugene.
Eugene.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
we've got
Eugene would own a snake.
Eugene would own a snake. So
Yeah.
Blue takes the snake to school, and I'm going to say that the snake can articulate that it has a name, so they're going to be able to find the
Mhm.
owner later, because this snake has only existed in captivity, so it's not like
It's not a
prepared
wild
to be
one.
out in the world.
Yeah.
So takes it to Eugene, and Eugene is like, oh, I know just what to do, or whatever. Or reveals that like, oh, well, my mom's a vet and she can help. And
Mhm.
so we're taking the snake over and the snake is being stitched up. Snake is okay. Now we must find the owner. And that's going to
Mhm.
be like the end of book 1. Is like,
Yeah.
the snake is able to articulate that its name is like cream cheese or something that its name is.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. I love when animals have nouns as their name.
Same. Many of mine do.
Mine too. And so cream cheese is reunited
Mhm.
with its owner, and the owner is like, how did you know to make a flyer with its name? Like, how did you know its name
Mhm.
was cream cheese? And Blue's just gonna be like, it was just giving cream cheese.
It
Like, that's just
it was the vibe. You
yeah,
named
the
your
vibe
snake
was cream
excellently.
cheese. Like, they make a little flyer, and it's in the book. I'm gonna say that these books are early readers, so
Yes.
it's got like pictures and paragraph text.
And so when
And so
the
it has
animals
a
have little thought bubbles.
cute,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it has pictures of the flyer, and the flyer is like,
Yeah.
found animal, response to cream cheese, text this number if you find it. And the number is like the veterinary hospital.
Yeah.
The owner calls and they're like, oh my god, you found my snake.
Mm-hmm.
How did you know its name is cream cheese? And then she plays it off all chill, like, that's just what it looks like. It looks like a cream
Yeah.
cheese to me.
Yeah. Which, if a 9-year-old told me that, I'd be like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't question a 9-year-old about that.
And then I'm gonna say that Eugene and Blue high five. They're like, we did it. And then we
and then
have
there's
like
little
this...
info at the end of the books about like what to do when you do find these animals in the wild.
I love that. And also
Yes.
maybe like an info sheet about the animals they find in this one. So there's one about the leopard seal, and there's one about whatever kind of snake it was.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
The kid's gonna learn.
That's right. Oh, you know what would be kind of cool? Maybe once each animal is introduced, you get like a Pokedex screen, and it's like, this is this animal, and this is what we know. Yeah!
So fun.
Biting power really hard. But I think
great.
that'd be cute and fun. Okay.
Yes.
Love. Okay, so I think we wrote book 1. I feel
book one's
confident,
done.
and it's really set up to just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. And I'm gonna say that, like, as she travels to these different places with either her family or with Eugene's family, she'll, like, make veterinary connections at each one, so that once we get to the killer whale, we have a network.
Yes. We have enough adults that can actually help the whale. Yes.
Yeah, to save the whale.
I love that. Yeah. That's excellent.
Wonderful.
Yeah, they could go to like the desert for like one. They could go, into a city and save some pigeons.
What do the pigeons need help with?
I don't know. They're just sky rats. Yeah.
I think that as she gets better and better, she can assist with like little things that are not like saving a life, but a squirrel being like, I want that nut so bad and I can't get to it. And she can like move stuff out of the way for the squirrel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think that that's fun. I really vibe with this book.
Me too. I would read it now.
Me too. I feel like I need a title for it, and then we can move on. So something about Blue, or like Blue's Animal Rescue or whatever.
It has a nice ring to it that has like the internal rhyme. Blue's
Does
Animal
it?
Rescue. Blue and Q.
Blue Rescue. Yeah.
Rescue.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't read.
Yeah, and then it could be like Blue's Animal Rescue, whatever we want to call it.
Right, whichever one is that one.
Yeah. I think that's really sweet. And then she can make a little like info flyer to like business cards for the vets that she meets, the adults, and just be like, here, I'm a 9-year-old, here's my card.
Yes! I love that!
And kids call her to get cats out of trees later on.
Oh my god, yeah.
Just like little vignettes in the beginning of stories to help get into the next story, right?
And I think eventually, I don't think it's a secret that she can talk to the animals.
Yeah.
I think that eventually that's like how her family is gonna find her, is that like it's showing up in the news that she can like meow and the cats will come down the tree. And so I think that's how her family's gonna find her. And then she's gonna be like, oh my god, people who are like me.
Yeah, and then the books, as that happens, the books get like a little bit higher and higher in difficulty, like reading wise, right? As the themes or the things she's dealing with besides animals get deeper, right? Yeah, cool. I really like this series.
Me, I would read it.
Yeah.
At the end of every episode, I have my guests give book recommendations.
Wonderful.
And the first one is the hardest. What is your all-time favorite book or series?
My all-time favorite book or series is Pride and Prejudice.
Okay, great. Wasn't even hard for you.
No, I'm a Jane Austen girly, have been since I was 12, got my English degree. I'm just stereotypical English teacher, man.
Did you go watch the re-release in theater?
I did, and I also bought the poster because the purple poster is beautiful. Though we got the last tickets at my theater, and it was in the very front row, so my friends and I literally are looking up, and I took a picture of it. Everyone's chins on the movie were so big just because of the angle. We were looking straight up. It was a hilarious watching experience. I don't recommend the front seats, but I don't regret. It was a blast. Yeah. We did a tailgate tea party, or I made cake and brought sparkling apple cider, and we had that in the parking lot before we went in. It was fun.
So, what is your most anticipated release of 2025? I love that you tailgated Pride and Prejudice. Sorry, that just registered that you said that in my brain.
It was so fun. I got so many weird looks. It was great. Yeah. my most anticipated release this year already came out, and that was Sunrise on the Reaping, and I have already read it and was destroyed, and I cannot wait to reread it one day. It also technically came out in April. I've not read it yet though, and that's John Green's new book, the Everything is Tuberculosis. I'm waiting for my Libby hold to listen to that one.
And then you said you're an 8th grade English teacher?
7th grade.
7th grade English teacher. What books are your kiddos reading right now?
Well, nothing right now. 'Cause end of
Not
the
that
year.
you require them to. What do they enjoy reading?
What do they enjoy reading? They love Dogman still. They're really into Dogman and the Wimpy Kid. Those are always I love graphic novels. I'm not the biggest fan of Dogman. Also, it's way lower than what they should be reading, but reading's fun. Everyone can read whatever they want. I read kid books and I'm an adult. Anyways, they love that. The kids, a few of my kiddos like The Hunger Games. I got them to read that. They loved Holes, and some of them have read his other stuff from the library, but it's just graphic novels, which I love graphic novels. They stick to the series ones, which
I get that.
You know,
you get attached to them.
Yeah, I do have a couple kiddos who are getting into YA romance. And so when I was reading 5 Feet Apart, they had read it and they were really excited I was reading it. And I had to lie to them about my opinions because I didn't want to hurt their feelings. I was happy they were reading.
That was so stupid at the end. Why did they do that?
I couldn't say that. I was like, yeah, it's really sweet. Star-crossed lovers. This is not problematic at all. But like, I just wanted them to love reading. So whenever they say they love a book, I don't have a problem lying to them and saying that I also love it. Yeah, I'm like, we gotta positive enforce this. Read more books. Yeah. So, and then the next that kiddo who was reading that was like, I'm gonna read The Fault in Our Stars next, and I was like, girl, your heart is gonna keep getting broken.
She says, I love pain. I want to be in pain.
Yeah, what a child, like, live your life, but also, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I was reading in 7th grade. Probably just the next books in these series, but in 6th grade was when I got back into reading, and it was firstly because of Twilight, unsurprising to anyone, and then secondly because my English teacher, for our required reading, we had to read the Percy Jackson book, the first Percy Jackson book, The Lightning Thief. And it was so good, but I also, like, a little bit I don't want to. I was like, no, this is going to be a stupid book. Then I was like, dang, actually, she was right. This was a good book.
Yeah. Yeah. In 7th grade, I was obsessed with the Ugly series.
Oh my God, yes.
Because the last couple were coming out when I was in 7th and 8th grade. Like, I remember watching the countdown on his website. I was so excited. Not that I got the book right when it came out, because I had to wait till the library had it. Yeah, and we read and watched Uglies for the podcast last season, and I had some thoughts that were not necessarily positive, but fun episode. Yeah.
I haven't watched the show, and I don't think I will. The movie.
No,
yeah.
I don't recommend it, but you can listen to my episode.
I do remember what I was reading now in 7th grade. If I can find my copy, it should be right behind me, and it's not, so I'm gonna scream if I can't find it. Oh, here it is. I was reading the Poison Studies series by Maria V. Snyder in 7th grade, which Loki should not have been reading in 7th grade because the whole... Have you read it? Okay, so the whole thing is that she is a poison tester because... Okay, so intro. She is on death row because she killed her abuser. Her, like, foster brother, like, the bio kid of the guy who, like, was fostering these children was abusing her. And so she killed him because he threatened to abuse other girls that were being fostered in that area. He threatens, like, one of her sisters, and she's like, no. And so she kills him. But the guy who was, like, fostering them, the bio dad of that guy, is, like, a high-ranking government official. And so he puts her on death row and is, like, very, like, when is she dying? Because I don't like her because she killed my son. She is offered the job of the poison tester, which is given to the next person on death row when the last poison tester dies, because they're like, look, you're gonna die anyway. Do you want to live a little bit longer? And so she gets this job of being the poison tester and, like, finds out that she has magic, and it's, like, a whole thing, and also, like, taking down the corrupt government. The reason that I probably shouldn't have been reading it when I was in 7th grade is because of the abuse that is
Yeah.
detailed. Not, like, explicit, but, like, you know what's happening.
But enough that a 7th grader maybe shouldn't be reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never heard of that series. I mean,
It's great. Big fan.
yeah.
Big fan of
Yeah.
this series. And they just re-released, oh my god, this is from 2005. They just re-released, so this is a new edition, and then
Mhm.
they released the first 3 books, but from the, like, male lead's point of view.
Mhm.
And I haven't read those. I only care about what she's doing. I don't care what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that way when a lot of series I'm not a big series person.
Oh.
I like fantasy and I like sci-fi. It's just I don't if it's more than 3 books, I'm never gonna finish it.
Mhm.
And so it's hard for me to get invested. And then when they have a book that's from one character and then the whole next book is from a different character, I can't. I'm fine if the POV switches within the book. Love that. But if a whole book is from someone else's perspective, it's not for me.
I really struggled to get into the later Percy Jackson books that were from,
Mhm.
like, the other guy's point of view. I was like, I don't care about him. Give me
Yep.
Percy. And then I don't like in a series, and I understand that this is, like, a thing for romance books, and it's okay in a romance book if every book is about a different couple. I don't
Yes.
like when the first 2 or 3 are about one couple, and then the 4th one or the 3rd one is randomly about somebody else. And I'm like, no!
Exactly.
Invested in these couples. I care about
Yes.
this. And, like,
Yeah.
I love Nalini Singh. She did do that in the,
Mhm.
not the Side Changeling series, but the one, the Archangel's Guild, I think is what it's called. And the
Okay.
first 2 or 3 books are about our main girly and her, like, soulmate partner guy. And then book 3 or 4 is randomly about this other couple. And I'm like, I don't care about them. What are they doing?
It's just
And
I
there's,
put so
like,
much
20
time.
books.
Yeah. I like when romance books have, like, each book's a different character, like Nisha Sharma's books, or, like,
Mhm.
like, where, like and you get little Easter eggs of the other characters. That's fine. But, yeah, I agree. If the first 2 or 3 are about the same people and then they switch, that's poor
Yeah.
planning.
And
Yeah.
then what is the book that you recommend to people the most?
I would say I I have 2 answers. When people ask for, like, middle grade books, I tell them to read anything by Kwame Alexander or Jason Reynolds. I'm obsessed with their writing. The Crossover by Kwame Alexander is one of my all-time favorite books. It's written in verse. It's so good. So that's my middle grade answer. My non-middle grade answer, I'm gonna, cheat and say 2. Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. Just phenomenal, important, hard at times, historical fiction. Time travel-esque. It's so good. It's about, a lady in the 70s who gets transported randomly back to antebellum South on a plantation, and it's a Black lady, and she, ends up realizing this is her, like, ancestors on this
Mhm.
plantation, and she gets taken back to the 70s, and so she just randomly gets time traveled back and forth. It's really interesting and well written. It's good. It's hard, but it's good. That one, and then another I do like historical fiction, even though I have not read much of that lately. But there's a historical fiction book that takes place in Alaska by an Alaskan author called The Smell of Other People's Houses. It's short. It's about 4 different people in Alaska during the 60s. That might be wrong. It's been a couple years since I read it, but all their like stories intertwine, and by the end, they're all like in a similar situation together, and it's very well written. And a lot of Alaska books are either like survival or written by someone who has never stepped in Alaska, and this one is someone who lives in Alaska writing about historical Alaskan events in a well way that's, it's good. So those are my go-to answers. Technically 4, but
No, I like them. I think that's great.
Yeah.
What was your last 5-star read? What was the last, and if you don't rate, what was the last book you loved and can't stop thinking about?
My last 5-star read was Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. I just finished listening to that. I've been listening to it since January. Really good nonfiction. Audiobook is excellent. I am someone who usually speeds up my audiobooks, but this one, just the way she reads it, speeding it up didn't help. It was better to just keep it slow. So it took me a couple months, but it was so good.
Okay, wonderful. Those all sound great. I'm definitely going to be checking some of these out. And that was If It Was a Book. If you have a story that you would like me and one of my guests to rewrite, you can email me at ifitwasabook@gmail.com, or we have a brand new website. Whoa, I made it
Woo!
myself. Don't judge it too hard. It's not the cutest. I tried my best. It's very pink.
On
You can
brand.
also listen. Yeah, I kind of regret making the icon like very pink because now everything is like very aggressive colors.
You
There's
can
nothing like
slowly change it.
muted.
You can slowly do it.
The
Yeah.
saturation on this show is up on all of the marketing. But that's okay. You can follow the podcast on Instagram and TikTok at If It Was a Book. You can watch video episodes on YouTube. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. We have new episodes every week on Mondays. Feel free to give us a rating, leave a comment, let me know what you like and what you don't like. And then, Janessa, where can we find your podcast?
You can listen to my podcast, Read the Book First, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, or you can just follow us on Instagram at Read the Book First Podcast, and all the links to everything will be on this Instagram. So, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you guys for listening.